We're talking about the, what is going to happen. The dollar is going to be cut in half. Of course, Donald Trump is wanting a lower dollar, and he said that because Europe is now printing a ton of money. Let's just segue right on here. Here's why Donald Trump is talking about a lower dollar, because when the European Union, the European Central Bank, the ECB comes up and says, wow, they're following the Fed and signaling fresh stimulus. They're not following the Fed. They're way in front of the Fed. Listen to this. The minutes for the June meeting suggest, and this is really before the Fed, minutes for the June meeting suggest the ECB should cut interest rates or restart its 2.9 trillion bond buying program. This is trillion euros. I put dollars. It's euros. $1 trillion bond buying program. There are deep concerns over slowing global growth and trade disputes. One writer was writing and said that the big problem Trump and the dollar has is the European Union, the euro. The yuan and the Japanese yen, that's really secondary compared to what they're going to do with the euro. I was talking to my friend Greg Vanarino, and he said, he pointed this out to me about the ECB printing a fresh 2.9 trillion euros to buy bonds. Oh, that's the same as printing money, folks. They're not buying bonds like, ooh. And they've come out with this plan for 2.9 trillion euro bond buying program, and everybody's, yawn. Is that all you got? I mean, what they're signaling, if they'd have done this 10 years ago, oh my God, the euro would have been a third of the dollar. Boom. Nope. Everybody's, they're doing whatever it takes. Oh, I'm telling you, the little guy, the middle management, the little guy is going to get creamed with inflation. Creamed. That's what they're signaling. Big people are like, they don't care if gasoline is $6 or $7 or $10 a gallon. Can I get it? Okay, fill up my, my Audi. Fill up my Mercedes, my Maybach. I don't care. I don't care if it's a couple $100. To you and me, that's whoa, a couple $100 to fill up. To somebody rich, we don't care. That's okay. Just put it in there. Thanks. Here's another guy, Albert Edwards. He's saying that the U.S. is about to take global currency war to a whole new level. What was Sinclair and Holter just saying in her past interview? What did Sinclair say, that the dollar was going to get sliced in half? That's what's coming, folks. I mean, we're before we have any real default in terms of paying somebody in confetti, they're gonna use this system as much as they can, as long as they can. I think they're gonna run it till it blows up, and they're telling you they're doing it. I mean, when the European Central Bank comes out and says we're going to buy 2.9 trillion euros in bonds, what? Excuse me? But this is, and then you got the Fed on the other side saying, oh, we're going to cut rates. I mean, Powell came out this week. I mean, remember him saying what in January or February? Economy's so strong, we're going to keep raising rates. We'll be data dependent, but we're going to clear our balance sheet, selling debt, which is like raising rates. On steroids. They're raising rates. They raised rates 9 times. They went from 0 to 2.25%. And then, the markets were crashing in May and early June, and they came out June 4th, and we're going to cut rates. We're going to print money. The other Fed governors out seriously making speeches about we're going to bring QE back if we need to. And then here we have Albert Edwards. The U.S. is about to take global currency war to the next level. According to Edwards, the problem is going forward is it just won't be Japan and the Eurozone that'll be trying to devalue their way far from the deflation quagmire, but also the U.S. Deflation, not just prices going down. Think of bond debt destruction. Think of those bonds in Puerto Rico. And I listen, I know I beat that drum, but, they gave them $91 billion. They had a $74 billion bond debt overhang. And then, zip, you didn't hear anything about that. I mean, Texas, as big as Texas, the biggest state in the continental U.S., and they had massive amounts of problem. They got about 38 million people. It might be around 40. And they got 30 billion. Puerto Rico, with 3 million people, got $91 billion. Now, I think we should have taken care of them, but I think they also took care of that bond debt. But, I digress. But that's what they're talking about. They're talking about a deflation in the debt market because debt is also considered an asset. And I'm telling you, there's the 2 big lies of our time. This is the two big lies. Those dollars in your pocket, dollar bill, Federal Reserve note, that's debt, okay? So debt is money and debt is an asset. Those are the two big lies, and we're going to find neither is true. Not right away, but we are going to find neither is true. And that's, Manarino just called before I went on the air, and he said, listen, what you're going to see coming up is going to be nothing. You haven't seen anything yet. What they're going to do to keep this propped up, it's going to have to get bigger and bigger and bigger to keep this all propped up, according to Manarino. I said, I'm going to quote you on that, man. He says, well, you should quote me. He says, that thing about that, really that 2.9 trillion, they're just printing money. That's exactly, you're 100% right. That's exactly what it is. And that is what it is. And think about what they're telling you they're going to do. And then, meanwhile, they're suppressing gold. And any other day, gold will be up $100 an ounce. What? You're going to print 2.9 trillion? Excuse me? You're going to cut interest rates, Jerome Powell. And now the only question is, how many cuts are we going to get? I say all of them. Really, I say all of them. I say to zero. I say it goes back to where it was, and I think we go back to QE before it's all over. I kid you not. And how fast will they do that? I was reading one article where, starting in 2007, they knew things were going bad. You had Michael Burry, the big short guy. He was taking out bets against the housing crisis, I think as early as 2007, subprime. And it paid off big for him, right? And but it took the Fed from, sometime in 07, when the Fed funds rate was 5.25%, and then it took them 15 months to drop it to zero. Are they going to wait 15 months this time? And I say no. And remember, there's like a 9-month lag time. I think you're going to be surprised at how bad it's going to get, how fast and how bad it's going to get, and how fast it's going to get bad, I should say. And I think you're going to be surprised at how much they're going to cut in a short amount of time. I think you're going to be surprised. I think well before the 2020 election, write it down, I think you will be at 0% interest rates. Their game is to stretch this out. Can they do it? I don't know. I mean, if they